of them being elected didn't change things dramatically.
No, but it allowed the Shire to progress in a different direction altogether from how it had been years before. And Mullumbimby was the biggest change of all. We had ridings, I might tell you, in those days. I was the councillor for all the hills here and back, all this northern area, not out on the coastal strip. And actually, so I showed the women councillors how the people were living, how they could get along quite well, and a few other things. I thought it was important to get them on side. You could call this lobbying, but it worked, and nobody ever challenged the people, the new folk here from the council. They wanted to. There was a councillor at Byron Bay who said, "What are you doing up there in the hills, allowing all these people to come in?" Oh, well, he said, "I'd like to meet you and the editor of the Mullumbimby Star and the leader of the mountain folk, Colt Scattergood, in Mullumbimby, and we've got to stop this, all the people coming." Well, that councillor came with me to the Mullumbimby Star office, and I had the other two people with me, and I said, "I'm quite happy to go along with the changing of the building code in Byron Shire, as long as you start at Byron Bay and you don't challenge people because of their length of their hair or the clothes they wear." The councillor thought, and nothing ever happened in Byron Shire.
So we're just getting very close to wrapping up here. But just in terms of that change, so you said that Anuti Wentworth came along in the late 70s. So she was quite different breed of sort of like in terms of the political change, wasn't she?
Yes, she was, but I got along well with her. I made sure of that. But she never. She challenged me first on control burns, and I said to Nudie, I explained to her what was going on, and she finished up by saying, "Could I come and help you with the next burn?"
Right, so I think probably the final one that we're going to sort of end with is just a little bit of a breaking of the myth around the whole process of recycling and reusing things. So you've got a bit of a poem here that actually that's sort of based on sort of a very old process of reusing and recycling.
Yes, I'd just like to conclude with this recycling and reusing. This reusing thing's now all the rage. It was invented in another age. In bygone times, people were willing to reuse things to save a shilling. Empty beer bottles, and there were many, could be sold at the shop for a penny. Plucked hen's feathers you would keep to fill the pillows for your sleep. Clothing material used long ago was from flour bags and calico. Young girls of old from on the farm never lacked the modern shape or charm. Their outfit was not complete without Gillespie's flour stamped on their seat. Of course, if the wind should blow, the brand upon the bum would show. Recycling newspaper was quite funny because its main use was at the dunny. There you'd sit on wooden seat reading the paper until complete. leap. Not much old news had left your mind, items that you missed you'd find. Sitting there improving your education and learning how to farm our nation. The hessian bags on the kitchen floor were filled with corn the week before. The billy we'd boil up for our tea, a syrup tin it used to be. Kerosene tins were recycled too, many uses for them we knew. It was years before these tins would leak when we carried water from the creek. Papers cut by the farmer's wife were to live another life, neatly cut at each crease. They'd decorate the mantelpiece. The tea towel hanging on the rack was yesterday a flour sack. So you see, recycling isn't new. It's part of Australian history too.
Thank you very much, folks. Very much, it's been a real pleasure.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Wasn't that wonderful? I think we'll have to have you back again, Frank. Thanks so much. Your depth of recollection and your humour is delightful. So I'm sure there's some fascinating stories out here amongst you people, and perhaps you'd like to come along and share them with us. Perhaps you've got an important message or something that you'd like to get across as well, and come along to one of our story afternoons. I've got two suggestions. If you're sitting there thinking, no, I'd like to, but public speaking's just not my thing. I'm really, I've got a lot to say, but public speaking, no way, I'm not getting up there. Here's the two suggestions. Jenni, as a lot of you will know, Jenni Cargill-Strong, she runs workshops. And there's a lot happening at the moment. The next one's at the Santos Heart Space, and that's on Sunday the 17th of September. But at the back desk, there's information about all Jenni's workshops and how she could assist you. But the second suggestion I've got is something that I'm particularly passionate about. And I make no apology for the fact that this is an advertisement. A little while ago, I joined the Toastmasters Club in Mullumbimby. And it's right in the heart of town. I'm sure some of you would have heard of Mullumbimby, that catchy name. And we meet, once again, there's pamphlets on your chairs, so I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but there's a meeting tomorrow night. Often the meetings are on Mondays. And in fact, in 2 weeks' time, there's going to be